Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley McManus. One man is dead following a highway collision between a tractor trailer and a sedan just west of the city limits earlier today. OPP Acting Staff Sergeant Mike Golding provided the initial information to reporters on the scene.
Well, this morning at 9:04, we received a report of a head-on collision on Highway 1117 here just west of the Kekabeka Curling Club.
The male driver of the car was pronounced dead on the scene, and he's being identified as 33-year-old Bishop Rasico of Thunder Bay. The driver of the eastbound tractor trailer was examined on scene. He managed to escape without injury despite his rig catching on fire after landing in a nearby ditch. That section of Highway 1117 remains closed at this hour from Fraser Road to Jelly Road. A detour is available via Highway 102. Thunder Bay's new acting police chief says he plans to make a positive impact however he can on the front lines of policing here in the city. Dan Taddeo was given his latest new role on Tuesday after Chief Sylvie Hoth was suspended by the police board amid allegations of misconduct by the OCPC. Vasilios Bellos reports.
Dan Taddeo has experienced 2 sudden promotions in the past 5 months as the city police force deals with internal and external investigations. In late January, Deputy Police Chief Ryan Hughes was suspended by the board. A few days later, Taddeo, who had been a police superintendent, was named acting deputy chief. Then on Tuesday, Police Chief Sylvie Hoth was suspended by the board, a few days after her retirement announcement and confirmation that the Ontario Civilian Police Commission had ordered that Hoth face a Police Act hearing on 3 counts of misconduct. Taddeo says he's well aware of the mistrust many in the community are feeling towards the police service, and he wants to ensure the public that steps are being taken to repair it.
Trust only comes through communication. That's both internally and externally. The whole purpose of the body-worn camera project was to ensure there was absolute police transparency and accountability with all of our interactions with anybody in the community. That's number one.
According to Taddeo, the service has been receiving positive feedback since the beginning of the body-worn camera project. He then turned attention to the allegations of misconduct against police leadership and how the morale of officers and other staff has been impacted.
To be quite frank, with the oversight investigations that are ongoing, definitely have an effect on the members here. And I believe that's one of my primary duties is to ensure that people feel that coming to work is a good thing.
Taddeo concludes by saying one of his focuses with the new role will be the spike of violent assaults and 7 homicides over the past 2 months.
There's an absolute proliferation of gangs from the Greater Toronto area in this city. When we arrest 1, 2, 10, they are subsequently replaced at some time.
As acting chief, Taddeo is unable at this point to comment directly on the numerous complaints against police leadership, as they're being handled by the OPP and the Civilian Police Commission. He stresses his focus in this interim position will be around operational and administrative viability of the police service. Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.
Thunder Bay Police have arrested the 4th and final suspect in connection with the murder on Hodder Avenue last month. The victim was 29-year-old Adrian Anthony Richardson of Thunder Bay. He was shot and killed on May 2nd at a residence in the 400 block of Hodder Avenue. 3 other suspects aged 29, 22, and 20 were arrested earlier this month and charged with first-degree murder in the case. Police had released surveillance images of a 4th suspect, and now 20-year-old Aidan Dermid Collender of Thunder Bay has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Police had said he was believed to be armed and dangerous and should not be approached. Despite the arrest, investigators are still asking for more information from the public by contacting City Police or Crime Stoppers. A major funding announcement today for the Thunder Bay Art Gallery. The federal infrastructure grant of $19 million will allow the gallery to start work at the site of a new waterfront building.
I am so excited today to announce $19.6 million in funding through infrastructure.
The funds will allow the gallery to start tendering the project. Gallery director Sharon Godwin says they could open the doors to the new building in 2025, as this grant brings the total funding to the project to approximately $48 million. Local MPP Patty Haidu made the announcement on behalf of Infrastructure Canada. The building was always intended to be environmentally efficient, but with this grant from the Green and Inclusive Community Buildings Fund will come enhancements to the design to meet zero carbon building standards.
So it's a very important part of a community. In fact, communities that have a high degree of art installations and opportunities for people to participate in art do better and attract newcomers, they attract young people, and they help retain that diverse economy that we all are looking for.
Well, everyone at the gallery is ecstatic. People in the community are really excited by this, and it is a huge relief because we now know that we can move forward and build the new Thunder Bay Art Gallery on the waterfront.
The announcement received a standing ovation, with Godwin thanking gallery supporters and the public for their patience through the process, which began 13 years ago. She's now asking for just a little more time as they revise the budget for the design to meet net zero targets. Heidi was also on hand for a major federal investment for the Matawa First Nations today. $13.8 million will go towards their training and wellness center located at the former Dawson Court Seniors Home on Algoma Street. The center focuses on the overall well-being and health along with training and skills development for Matawa members. The Matawa Training and Wellness Center renovation is projected to cost $44 million. Today's federal funding will cover a significant portion of that bill. It will help with renovations across the building, including training spaces, a community garden, improving the energy efficiency, and more. Heidi was on hand to make the announcement as the Federal Indigenous Services Minister, and she praised the work the center does for the community.
It is about making sure that people who are gaining skills, who are looking to recover from a variety of different situations, have the supports they need to be able to learn and advance their skills and participate in the economy.
Just a lot of renovations, including the boiler system, the heating and ventilation, to ensure that that we are operating energy efficient, eliminating greenhouse gases.
The project will create more than 300 jobs by 2026. Ontario Premier Doug Ford is making good on a campaign promise. Effective tomorrow, the gas tax will be cut by more than 5 cents a litre, and he's asking the federal government to follow suit. Andrew Brennan reports.
The Premier says Ontarians tell him wherever he goes, the unaffordability crisis is hitting them hard, especially at the gas pumps.
You see it on every street corner as gas prices rise to levels we have never seen before.
As of tomorrow, the gas tax cut comes into effect, dropping by 5.7 cents a litre, something the Ford government says will save the average household $465 a year, but only combined with savings on license plate renewals. Analysts predict any savings from the gas tax cut will be eaten up by rising prices into the summer months, which is why Doug Ford says Ottawa needs to do its part and cut the carbon tax.
If the feds do another 11 cents, that's 21 cents. That'd be huge savings, and they can do it temporarily. I get it. If they want to just do it through the peak areas of the summer or up to the end of the year, that's how you put real money into people's pockets.
Many say any little bit helps.
Everything has gone up, and it's just eating out, our pockets at the end of the day. So anything that can help.
Before, every week I use $100 gas. Now it's $200.
But as prices are expected to soar higher, the savings may not get people going very far.
St. Joseph's Care Group is launching the second phase of a plan that looks to further the work of reconciliation through a healthcare lens. A special gathering was held today called Walking with Humility, looking to the southern direction, and it gave insight into what the plan will mean for patients of St. Joseph's many institutes. Corey Nordstrom has the details.
The continuation of St. Joseph's Care Group's Walking with Humility plan has a number of key focuses, though the main goal is to eliminate racism within their confines. Whether that's for people seeking treatment at St. Joe's Hospital, living at one of their long-term care homes, or at one of their other healthcare centers. From the first iteration of the plan in 2018 came the Indigenous Health Department. Clinical Director Marina Reed explains some of what's been done in the second plan.
We're looking at how we're going to move forward, sustainability, evaluation, quality, and ensuring the education component for staff, and really trying to further that and educate people.
There is an unconscious bias that you're really not even aware of, and so it's sometimes people experience microaggressions that you wouldn't even think based on your language, and so I think that's really important for us to educate our staff to really create awareness.
Fort William First Nation Chief Peter Collins was among local leaders on hand for the presentation, lending his support to St. Joe's plan.
We have a lot of folks that are in that facility, so it's important that they feel like they're at home, they feel like they're needed, they feel like they're wanted. And healthcare is an important aspect of our people, and so a lot of times, it's when you have aged, you want to be treated with respect.
As CEO and Executive Director Kelly O'Brien tells us, they aim to promote culturally sensitive care and equity in healthcare for Indigenous people. The plan and spaces they use have been crafted with input from elders and Indigenous patients.
And introducing traditional healing into practices, to just have clients to have sacred space to be able to go to have sharing circles is really, really profoundly important. And that's the feedback that we're hearing from our clients.
Corey Nordstrom, TBT News.
Canada Day is coming up tomorrow, and local firework dealers had their pop-up trailers set up at several locations around the city. And they're expecting strong sales this year due to what's not happening at the waterfront. The City of Thunder Bay has announced that they will not have a fireworks display at tomorrow's Canada Day celebrations at Marina Park. It's the third year in a row that the traditional fireworks show was cancelled. On top of that, the city has implemented new rules for private residents shooting off fireworks, limiting them to actual holiday and the day before. The owner of Pyro Boys, Bill Groombridge, says his trailers have been busy with customers nonetheless, and he says sales tend to increase when there isn't a major fireworks show at the marina.
Whenever that happens with the city canceling for whatever reason, we get a lot of new customers who have never tried fireworks before. So we see a lot of new people, and then we have our basic customer base. But the nice part is we have people who, at the last second, realize there's no fireworks, and that's when they come to us. So.
Groombridge says, unfortunately, he does not have certain firework products this year, as China has now changed their laws for shipping explosives. But he says there are still a lot of options for local firework fanatics. Well, Fiona, I hope they have some clear skies for tomorrow for those firework fanatics, because last night's thunderstorm was something to see.
Yeah, it was a bit of a light show, a bit of action out there, and a little bit noisy at times. But after it cleared out, things were actually quite beautiful today. Now, all right, that should not say a low of 33. That's the humidex is what we reached with a high of 30. And throughout the day, we had the winds picking up. Now, it started out in the single digits, 5, 6, 7 kilometers per hour for most of the morning and a good part of the afternoon. But it's only been in the last few hours that the winds have really kicked up, as have the temperatures, up to 56 kilometers per hour. That is a lot of bluster moving through the city. Now, to the west, we've got partly sunny skies in Fort Frances at 21, Atikokan and Upsala matching that 20 in Dryden, 18 in Kenora. Red Lake has been mostly cloudy for much of the day. The humidex really not a factor there. They're currently at 21, 20 in Sioux Lookout and into Armstrong as we move further east. Greenstone has had thunderstorms a couple of times today. A few showers. Right now they're under cloudy skies at 19, 16 in Marathon. And Sault Ste. Marie also experiencing some thunderstorms this morning and a few showers this afternoon. Currently the temperature is sitting at 25, but with the humidex it feels closer to 30. Now here in the city of Thunder Bay, we are looking pretty good for tonight. Can't say the same thing though for other parts of the region. We have thunderstorm watches and warnings to the north of us. Now the watches are the yellow portions. That means the elements are in place for a potential thunderstorm. Doesn't mean it's actually going to happen, but all those elements are there and it could. The red one, that is your warning, and that is affecting areas in the Greenstone region, and All of these areas include various hazards if a thunderstorm hits. We're talking the potential for winds up to 90 kilometers per hour, nickel-size hail, heavy downpours. So that's why they're keeping an eye on the systems moving through to the north and the northeast. Fortunately, we are not in that zone. We are expecting the winds to stay quite windy, 52 kilometer per hour gusts for much of the night, but a low of 11, clear skies. And as we head into Canada Day, things are looking actually pretty good, although we might see a shower or two. I'll have more details on exactly what that means later on in the news hour.
All right, thank you so much, Fiona. Well, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is headed back home to Canada as the NATO summit has wrapped up in Madrid. We'll have all those details for you when you come back.
We continue to support Ukraine as it defends itself and our democracies.